Hi folks, Padre Phil here. Back in my home country, Ireland, researchers in Cork have discovered the headstone of Ireland's longest living person. He was 162 and his name was Miles from Dublin. If you're not laughing at the moment, just think about it. In my last thought for the day, I posed the question, what is life worth? In the last few months, we have had to stop living in order to have life. But what value does life have if all we do is merely exist? Is it not better to live life to the full, even if that life is short? Ecclesiastes chapter 1 asks this, or says this: meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless, everything is meaningless. What does man gain from all his labour at which he toils under the sun? Generations come and generations go, but the earth remains forever. There is no remembrance of men of old, and even those who are yet to come will not be remembered by those who follow. Ecclesiastes 2 continues, nothing is better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that his soul should enjoy good in his labour. What do you think of that message? Meaningless, meaningless, everything is meaningless. That's a bit of a depressing passage from the Bible, isn't it? But I think Ecclesiastes hits the nail on the head in describing the lives we lead in this day and age. We work to feed ourselves, we live to enjoy our labours, but there isn't much meaning or depth to life. Life without a purpose, life for life's sake, is meaningless. So my question for you today is, isn't there a better way to live than this? In Luke chapter 10, there's a very short little story about two sisters. One day, Jesus came to the house of Mary and Martha. What would you do if someone important was visiting your home? As we come out of lockdown, I guess many of us will need to run the hoover around, wash the floors, clean out the fridge, make the beds. Because if you're anything like me, these things haven't been happening because there's no one around to see the mess but ourselves. When Jesus arrived at Mary and Martha's house, Martha began running around the house. As Luke puts it, she was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. Mary, on the other hand, sat down at Jesus' feet and began to listen to him. Our society today would consider Mary to be a Jack lazy sod and Martha to be a valuable good egg. But Jesus scolded Martha. Martha, Martha, he said, you're worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. As we regain our lives after this crisis, let's not be tempted to go back to the work, busy, meaningless lives that we had before. This crisis should have taught us about what is important. In lockdown, if you have found life to be empty because you can't be busy, then before you allow this meaningless busyness to take over again, ask yourself, isn't there a better way to live than this? And then remember what Jesus said to Martha. You're worried and upset about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. God bless. Ta-ta for now.